Chief Meteorologist Kimberly Sprout, and you're tuned to Jollyville Radio on KJVR. On today's program, we have an educational flower arranging tutorial provided by Jacques Kennedy Floral. After that, Spoopy the Boop and Chauncey provide coverage of the Jollyville Merman Festival starting later tonight. Be advised that conditions are looking dicey over the lake today. I sure hope that our rival town, Malakoff, remembered to tie down Rhonda, the giant rubber duck. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Bowlins, double half hitches, sheepshank. If you know what those are, then Malakoff Rope and Hauser Company is the place for you. We've got double twisted polypropylene rope, 3-stranded manila rope, even scratch and sniff 9-strand sisal lines. Jollyville Radio listeners get 10% off their first purchase with offer code Malakoff is better. Malakoff Rope and Hauser Company is a proud sponsor of the Jollyville Merman Festival and friend of Rhonda, the rubber duck. Located in Malakoff on the way to the shipping docks, you can't miss it.
Smooth, hot, slippery. Introducing the all-new line of luxury griddles from the designer Robert Cheerful. Griddle me timbers.
Welcome to Jacques Kennedy's flower arrangement class. I am Hildegard Veltner and I work for Jacques Kennedy. I've been asked to provide all you wonderful listeners a quick tutorial on flower arranging. I'm in the studio and you are at home. You have the flowers? Yes? Good. You also need a vase. Be sure it's exactly what you want. If it's not what you want, you will ruin your arrangement and you will have wasted my time. Alright, let's begin. First, you take the vase and add water. This is very important. If you do not, the flowers will die. Well, they were already dead, but they will die faster. If you, dear listener, did not already know flowers are dead, well, I'm sorry. That is life. The water needs to be at room temperature. Anything above that is disgraceful. After you fill your vase with room temperature water, you will need to take the largest, brightest flower you have. See, I have mine here. Wait, you cannot see this. Well, just know I have it. It's very large and very bright. You take the largest, brightest flower and you put it in the center of the vase. Because of gravity, it will not stay there, because that is life. Now you take another flower. It is probably not as large or as bright and probably not that pretty. Put it in the vase. You do this until you run out of flowers. If you have extra things like twigs or leaves or green things, add them into the holes. You know, like this. Wait, you cannot see it. Well, just know I added them into their spaces like so. Keep doing this until you run out of green things or you run out of room. If you run out of room, that is on you for buying too small of a vase. What a waste of money. Now, the flowers are in there and they should look good. No random flowers standing straight out at an angle, or too many similar flowers next to each other. That is weird and not attractive. If you need to adjust, just start over. But do so after this lesson because I do not know you are starting over and you will miss the end. Because this is a radio show. To finish your flower arrangement, you will take your doily and place it where you want the vase to go. If you do not have a doily, reflect on your choices as to why you live a life where you do not have a doily available. I expect one from you next time. As you can see, I have placed mine by the window. Wait, again, you cannot see. Well, just know I placed my doily by the window. Then you take the vase of flowers and place them with the largest and brightest flower facing out. Out could be the window or towards the room. I don't know, just don't turn it away from you. What a waste of my time if you do that. However, I will not know since it's a radio show. With your flower arrangement in place, you can now enjoy the bounty of your work. Hopefully it was hard work because beauty should not come easy. Thank you for listening. This has been Hildegard Velter for Jacques Kennedy, and you've attended my flower arranging class here on KJVR, Jollyville Radio.
This is Courtney and Luna from Mutiny Market in Austin, Texas.
You're listening to Jollyville Radio on KJVR.
For KJVR in Jollyville, I'm Kimberly Sprout. Later tonight is the opening of the Jollyville Merman Festival. We sent Spoopy the Boop and Chauncey down to the Jollyville Expo Center to learn more. Chauncey, Spoopy, what can you tell us about the lineup for this year's festival?
Well, I have to say that all of my favorite bands are here and then some. What do you think, Chauncey?
I couldn't agree with you more, Spoopy. The show will be kicking off with crowd favorites Mermanifest Destiny, Mermayonnaise, and Corpus Christi.
Mermayonnaise burst onto the scene last year with their hit album, The Spread of Fear.
I also see Mermancipation, Mermanda Rights, and the Merman Merband will be back again.
So exciting!
Spoopy, Chauncey, can you tell us what kinds of music there will be at the festival?
This year, there is a wide variety of performers covering all genres. There's something for everyone.
Which ones will you be going to, Spoopy?
Now, I'm a fan, or should I say Finn, of merman-themed hip-hop, which is sometimes called Splish Splash. This year, Afro Merman and Gucci Mermain will be opening for headliners Coys to Mermen.
And there are rumors that Method Merman will make an appearance.
I hope he does. What are your favorites, Chauncey?
I always like to see the 80s cover merbands. This year, I can't wait to see Merman at Work, Merman Without Hats, and Merman. And I love when they sing It's Raining Merman.
Hallelujah!
It looks like there is no shortage of indie rock merbands.
That's right. I see Mans Merdinand, Portugal the Merman, tallest merman on Earth, and not just of mice and mermen, but also of monsters and mermen too.
Is Mermanchester Orchestra here in a classical music category?
No, they're just a rock band with orchestra in the name. You know, like Electric Light Orchestra.
I don't get it.
Just with mermen.
Oh, okay.
And afterwards, it looks like Sean Mermendez will be leading a panel discussion with famous musicians Freddie Man Mercury and Lin Mermanuel Mermanda.
I tell you what, Spoopy, I can't wait for the Merman Festival to start.
Same here, Chauncey. I'll be putting the finishing touches on my costume right after we get off the air.
I started to make mine too, but every time I went to look at it in the mirror, I just got distracted by my own reflection and never made any progress.
Well, Kimberly, that's all from us. Back to you.
Thank you, Spoopy the Boop and Chauncey Applegate, for that enlightening review. We'll take a quick break and be right back for Community Beat with Uncle Asar.
Hi, we're all Antonio and his imaginary friends, and you're listening to Jollyville Radio, KJVR.
On air in 3, 2, 1. This is Jollyville Community Beat with Uncle Asar, turning the spotlight on good people doing great work in the real world. We are broadcasting live from the Jollyville Radio Purple Street Studio, powered by French fry grease and the stench of old socks. We're in conversation with Courtney and Luna, the starters of Mutiny Market, an Austin, Texas pop-up market featuring eclectic artists, vintage merchandise, and much, much more. Courtney and Luna, welcome to Community Beat.
Thank you for having us. Fabulous intro.
So I've been to flea markets and farmers markets, but tell us, what's a pop-up market and who would I run into if I happen to pop up at one? See what
Well, at ours, at least, there are a lot of local artists that do like jewelry or painting, screen printing, comic art, painting on clothing. We also have a bunch of vintage sellers that curate, whereas I feel like sometimes at flea markets, it's just like, oh, let's just take this pile of, donated stuff and market it like $2. These selections are very like specifically curated to be like more higher end vintage. We also have someone at our market that does like live studio style photos. And he does them professionally. He has an actual studio, but it's nice to have him out there with us. And we also have a DJ, so there's live music. And as far as like who you'd run into, just a bunch of local people that are enjoying brunch or wherever we are. And yeah, just people that want to support their community and the local artists that come pop up.
We're going to continue with that theme, right? You mentioned the community. Tell us about the community of artists and vendors. I mean, what type of people are they, and what type of other things? You mentioned a couple, but go into a little more detail about the type of crafts and things that they create.
Well, a lot of like the jewelers I know because my dad owns a bead store. I mean, that's how I met Luna, and we became friends through that. And it's just a lot of people that I see that they're putting a lot of good like intention in their work, and they just deserve to have a place and to get to showcase their stuff. And
I mean, there's all walks of life. I mean, you have, just real free spirits. And then, other people are like, they have like the 9 to 5 and they work in an office, and they're like a digital artist, and they set up on the weekends, and they have, prints and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. And it's usually the folks that like look real straight laced. Their digital art, their prints will just be like really wild or just super creative. Yeah, very tongue-in-cheek type things, lots of social commentary and things like that. So I mean, there's just I actually kind of like that about it, because it kind of feels like I was the kid in high school and junior high that kind of knew everybody. Like I was friends with all the different groups, and I didn't have my own thing. And being at the pop-up markets, definitely not like high school, but the artists, the vendors are all very different. And I noticed since they're open back up, we've opened it since Corona?
Since March or whatever.
Yeah. It's such a different vibe around. Like everybody's more talkative. We've done markets for a while. And I've noticed everyone's just so excited to be out and mingling and talking to people and supporting people, because all of us got hit pretty hard.
I mean, I'm 30 and I've been doing markets for 15 years. And I feel like having a community of people who just want to support each other and like shout each other out and really like get their friends involved too. It means a lot to us, but also to the people that are part of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, mutual support can move mountains.
And we just want to, well, at least for me, it's very important for me to support artists. Like, so that you don't have to be a hardcore Austinite, for 10, 20 years or whatever.
No.
If you just moved into town and you're trying to break into the scene, this would be, I think, a good segue into like putting your stuff in galleries and things like that.
Yeah, we're not that picky about who can join. And
we're picky. No, because we're picky, but we are not.
We're
all inclusive. But we're exclusive.
I'd say we're selective, but still being inclusive. Right? That's
I think about.
Well, you mentioned mutual support, and that's the type of thing that we look for talking with people with Community Beat, the communal aspect of supporting one another. But let me shift for a second. The name Mutiny Market. Now, I looked it up just to make sure I was on the right track. And it does mean open rebellion and revolted. So if you could tell us, who came up with the name and why you chose it, how does it apply to what you're doing?
Well, because, I
said it as a joke.
Yeah.
She'd be like, you know what? I'm tired of doing markets around town that, you start in the hole, like you have to pay to be part of it. And
so we were a little frustrated because there are quite a few markets. I've actually seen a lot of new markets pop up too, which is really exciting because I'm not a part of those. But some of the markets we had been a part of, and we still love all of those people. Sometimes it would be a little disheartening from an artist or creator's perspective to be in the hole with all of the stuff that you're making, because a lot of us have to spend money to have product inventory on our table. And then it's very hard work to set up and break down and be out there sometimes in like triple digit weather.
Taking a day off work,
finding babysitters, things like that, and then, you pay a fee and you're meant to bring a lot of your own equipment and things like that. And then and then you put all of this hard work into it. And sometimes, markets can be sort of a bust if they're not advertised properly or things like that, or there's not much of a buzz going around.
Or and only your mom buys something from you that day.
Yeah. So,
which I'm still grateful for. Grateful for it, but
But it can be really a humbling experience to pack up after a long couple of weeks prepping and a long day or night at the market, and you're basically your booth fee in the hole. I have left markets where I haven't sold anything, and there have been a lot of nights where I'm like, why am I doing this? Why do I do this to myself? But then we have good times too. We have good markets where we make rent, and we're like, how do we do that? So we're trying to figure out how to sort of find the balance. Like we're trying to basically, all the complaints we might have from different organizers and this, that, and the other, we're trying to say, okay, how can we rectify that in our market? If we were to create a market, we would have an ideal market. What would that look like? And so for us, since we're first starting out, and we're just asking the vendors to have faith in us and to take a gamble on us. We're like, look, we're not going to charge a booth fee. We're not going to charge anything. And we're just trying to, at least from my perspective, it's important to me to be supportive of artists. And that's like the first way. Like here, we will do, I look at it as like community service, but like in the most, in the most positive way, not by the freeway picking up trash, but I feel like this is the best way I can support my fellow artists. I know what it's like. I know what it's like. And so we just decided we're gonna set up a situation, like we're gonna make a platform or find a venue and make it work to where all that they have to do is just show up. That's all they have to do, and their heart's already in it. There's no question about that. And so I'm a very firm believer in part of receiving blessings or abundance or whatever you want to call it is giving. And for me, if we have a market at Mutiny and I don't sell anything, but I hear everybody else is doing well, then that was the whole damn point, And so the Mutiny, we were just very frustrated, and we felt like we were stuck in our situation. And she said, "Oh, Mutiny," and she threw that out, and I was like, "That's brilliant." She's like, "No, we can't do that." Yeah, she was vehemently against it. And I said, "No, this is going to be it." I was like, "You can write your list. I'm not writing a list. My choice is Mutiny." And I think she heed and hawed for maybe 3 days.
Yeah,
and then she acquiesced.
How do you recruit the various artists that you showcase at the pop-up market?
So we have a vendor application in our Instagram bio, and we pretty much just scroll through that and check out like their Instagram. That's really like the only way that we find vendors, unless it's like a friend of a friend that we know. Then we just allow them to come in. But we just, whether you have like a huge following or not a following at all, if you make cool stuff or curate nice art or fashion, whatever, like we want you part of it. So we don't really like discriminate on like, you don't have to have like, an Instagram following or whatever. It's just
a website.
Yeah. It's just if we like it, but we give everybody a shot really. And we rotate our vendors. We still have like some of the same recurring vendors just because are great friends and they do really well. And
scheduling, some people can't make,
which works out nicely.
Yeah, it ends up working out.
Yeah.
If I wanted to pop up at a Mutiny market with this.
Well,
I actually hate the term pop-up. It drives me crazy the way upcycling drives me. If I read the term upcycling one more time, I'm gonna
what would
put my head in a
what
toilet.
would you call it instead of pop-up?
Pop-up? I would just put like community market or a
but to say, hey, no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I would say dreaded if you would like to blank at the market. Like he's asking like, okay, so instead, what was your question? I'm sorry. Instead of
if you wanted to pop up at a Mutiny market.
If I wanted to check out a Mutiny market, a couple of cool pieces or whatever, how can I find you on the web or how would I find you?
We are on Instagram
at the moment. Yeah.
It's just at mutiny_market. And
we post our upcoming markets, like little flyers and the images. Try to make it real simple, drawing pictures, like just go to the page. There's a picture. That's the most recent one. And it's right now we started out at one venue. We do plan on expanding, and it's once a month, and it's usually towards the end of the month, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right now it's just the last Sunday of the month at Yellow Jacket Social Club.
And the vendors can contact you through Instagram as well.
Yes, we have
potential vendors.
Yeah, we've got a vendor application in our bio. And we go through that. Also, if someone sends us like a DM, I check those as best as I can.
Well, listen, it has been so much fun talking to you, Courtney, and we wish you the best of the best.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Y'all can come pop up sometime with us.
Please do.
We have... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, if y'all do ever want to, let me know, because at this next one in June, even Coop Radio is gonna have a table out there, so I'd love to have Jollyville out there, too.
All right. This is Jollyville Community Beat with Uncle Asar, and dig this. No one can do everything, but everyone can do something. Peace.
Amen.
Good.
These episodes of Jollyville Radio were created by Uncle Asara Kebulan, Emily Antonik, Michael Crosa, Michelle Darcy, Jamie Davis, Richard Dayries, Brian Green, Pilar Kep, Zach Cronish, Robert Leary, Thomas Schlitt, JB Skurlock, Kay Wise Denty, and Elijah York.
Special thanks to Bob Don of Bob's Short Story Hour and Hidden Oaks Podcast, and Antonio Delgado of the band O Antonio and his imaginary friends.
Direction and music by Michael the Maestro Crosa, with editing help by Richard Dayries and Jamie Davis. Social media coordination by Emily Antonik. Jollyville Radio was produced in accordance with social distancing.
Jollyville Radio is a product of Jollyville Brass Quintet, member of Austin Creative Alliance, and the Pizza Rice Podcasting Collaborative. We are based in Austin, Texas.
If you're enjoying Jollyville Radio, consider supporting us with a monthly pledge. You can get fun prizes depending on your donation level. Just go to patreon.com/Jollyville Radio. You can also support Jollyville by buying a sticker from our website, leaving a review or comment on your podcast platform of choice, or by sharing Jollyville Radio with a friend.
The credits were read by the writers of episodes 222 through 225. They are Uncle Asar Akabalon, Emily Antonik, Michael Crosa, Brian Green, Pilar Kep, and Kay Wise Denty. We'll see you next time on Jollyville Radio.